Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another training. Today, we are going to be talking about the daily DM routine that I use and my appointment setters use every single day to help us book 30 plus appointments every single month. In fact, this is the exact same sequence or routine that I used last month, or my appointment setter used last month, to book 31 phone calls and generate $39,418. So, we're going to be going through that routine in just a second. So this is for anybody out there who's kind of been struggling to stay organized and really consistent with their follow-up and with their outreach. And so because of that, your calendars are probably empty and you're struggling to book appointments. So we're going to try to end that today. We're going to try to help you become a little bit more organized around your outreach so that you're very consistent with your follow-up. Because what most people do is when they're spending just a little bit of time here and there is they're just losing a lot of people, a lot of follow-up. And really, the biggest part of this whole appointment setting thing through outreach is really the follow-up sequence. So we're going to be talking about all of that today. But first, before we get started, if you're here with me live, tell me where you're from. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're from. If you're on Facebook, you can click the link that says StreamYard. That way I'll be able to see your name in the comments. Let me know who's joining me live. And while we do that, I'm going to drink a little bit of water here. But let me know who's joining me. Come on, don't be shy. Do y'all want to see the routine? Come on. All right. Let me know who's in here with me. If you're here with me live, drop a live in the comments. And if you're watching the replay later on, I know a lot of people wanted to see this replay. Hey, what's up, Haven? Wanted to see the replay. So if you are seeing the replay later on, drop a hashtag replay and let me know. Okay. So thank y'all for joining me today. I want to tell you a little bit of background on how I kind of come up with this particular routine. So when I first started my business, so I had a yoga studio agency a while back, and I used a virtual assistant at that point, and it was through a service, and that agency kind of died, so I had to pivot. And when I started my new agency, I knew I wanted to hire another virtual assistant. And when I did that, hey, what's up, Becky and Saki? Sam. Hey, what's up, Sam? I'm in Georgia too. So when I started the new business, I wanted to get a virtual assistant. I went through one of the big gurus out there. I won't tell you his name, but anyway, he set me up with the virtual assistant, and I paid him, I don't know, I think like $3,000 to $5,000. And that was just strictly, they told me it was a trained VA. They gave me a VA, but he wasn't trained. Now, to his benefit, the VA is still with us. He's one of our managers now, one of our trainers, but I didn't like that experience. So I knew that I wanted to start another virtual assistant business. And so we started a virtual assistant business. And when I first started that virtual assistant business, the way we trained people is we created a course, let people go through it, and the people who passed, we would set up with people. Well, quickly I found out that that didn't really work because people could cheat. They could make their way through it, but that didn't mean they actually were good at the actual results. So what we ended up doing is I ended up doing a 3-day training for everybody, going through the training, made sure that they were good at what they were doing before I placed them with anybody. Now I have trainers that do all that. The next thing that I saw happen, though, is a lot of our appointment setters would get really bogged down and they wouldn't hit their quotas every day. They would kind of get bogged down just replying back and forth with messages and stick just in the messages. So they'd miss a lot of the other opportunities out there. So what I did is I created a very structured daily routine that they would have to go through, which is what I'm going to share with you today. And that way they could, go through a checklist and they know exactly what to do throughout the day. So that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today. If you're excited to see that, type in routine and let me know that you're excited to see that. And then we'll go ahead and get started in a little bit. So the person who just said Facebook or live, if you can, click on the StreamYard link and that'll let me see what your name is. All right, Kimberlyn, thank you for joining us. I thought you weren't going to be able to make it, but I'm glad you're here. So let me go ahead and share my screen and then we will jump into the training, okay? All right, so if you haven't seen this part of my presentation before, basically this is how we're able to book 30 plus appointments from one single profile on Facebook Messenger every single month. And I call it the SPF framework, okay? So the SPF framework is UC protection, shielding you from the harmful effects of unwanted conversations. Now, if you've ever been out there before and you've tried to do cold outreach and you've gotten, people have ignored you, or they've gotten pissed off at you, or you were talking to them for a second and then you pitched too early and then they just disappeared. Well, the way that I do outreach is a totally different method. I want inbound conversations coming to me. Those are much warmer conversations. Those are easier to book into appointments. And so that's my whole strategy. I don't really like the cold outreach. We'll do it if somebody really wants to do it and doesn't want to, do our other strategy. But I would much rather have people coming to me, raising their hand and saying they're interested in what I have, and then transitioning those conversations into the DM and then into appointments. Okay. So what does SPF stand for? So the first part of it, S, is segmentation. So you want to segment your connections or your friends list based on where they are in your sales process or your funnel. Okay. So that's the first piece. We want to segment our list of our friends. Okay. Then we want to prioritize that list, starting with the conversations that are closest to purchase. So throughout our day, if we're going to have conversations in the DM and maybe we have limited amount of time, maybe you're managing it all yourself, then you want to prioritize the conversations that are closest to the purchase. Okay. So that's the next piece of it. S is segmentation. P is prioritization. And then the final piece of it is framing. So we want to send the right messaging framework to the right person at exactly the right time. So if we're segmenting our list, we want to make sure that the messaging that we're sending that person aligns with where they are in that sales process. And here's some examples of how we do it. Actually, this is in our Facebook Messenger playbook. If you haven't gotten a copy of that, you can drop in playbook below and I'll send you the link to grab that. But basically, we break down our conversations into where they are in our sales process. So I can actually show you this in FlowChat. And if you end up going to go in and get in FlowChat, if you go through our affiliate link, I'll actually give you all these pipelines. So basically what a pipeline is, let me just show you this, what this is, because this is the tool we use. So FlowChat is a tool where you can build pipelines, right? It's kind of like a Trello board. Each pipeline has a stage, has a series of stages, and then each stage or some of the stages have messaging templates applied to them. So these are the templates that are applied to them. This way we can see where all of our prospects are in our conversation and we know exactly what message to send them, okay? So remember when I told you that we segmented our list based on where they are in our sales process. So the people that the first priority of people are the people that we've had a sales conversation with. They were qualified. It was a good conversation and they are close to, they were almost about ready to buy, but for whatever reason, they didn't buy. They had some kind of objection. They needed to talk to their significant other, whatever the case may be. So if we need to follow up with those people, if they're due for a follow-up with those people, those are the first people that we want to reach out to, okay? The next people for us is our group members. So I have a Facebook group that's a big core piece of our strategy, a cornerstone of our strategy. So we invite people into our Facebook group, and the people that join our Facebook group, we have membership questions. And one of those questions is, hey, this is what we do. Would you like us to reach out and book a phone call with you? If they say yes to that, then those are the next people in line of our priority. Those are the next people we want to reach out to because they're low-hanging fruit. They actually raised their hand and said, hey, yes, I want to book a phone call with you. The other people are the new group members that joined the group, but they didn't say yes to that requested a call. Now they're in our group, they're getting familiar with us, but they're just not ready for a call. So we have different strategies that we take to get them to comment on different pieces of content. And then if they comment on that content, then we'll reach out in the DMs, deliver the content, and then try to book that into a phone call. So that's the next list in our priority. Okay. And if they don't comment on our welcome post, this is basically our welcome post strategy, then we'll also follow up with those people with a different kind of framework of conversation. And then we want to invite our long-term or our cold prospects into our group to get them into these different pipelines and move them up the ladder, essentially. And then if we've gone through all this during the day, then we can go to our long-term check-in. We can also check our two-step posts and live trainings. But this is kind of the flow of how we're going to prioritize our outreach throughout the day, our messaging, okay? And so now I'm going to show you the daily routine. So I'm going to open this up, or I'm going to present this. Okay, so this is our daily workflow for managing our conversations using FlowChat specifically, okay? So the first thing that we want to do with Facebook, we have a daily quota, and this is one of our biggest KPIs that we want our appointment setters to meet, because if we can fill the top of the funnel, which is sending friend requests, if we can get enough of those people accepting our friend requests, we've got a bigger audience to have conversations with. Okay, so the first kind of milestone that we're shooting for is 50 friend requests a day. If you're just starting out and you've got a warm account, then you need to slowly move up to that. So we've got to hit 50 friend requests a day. That's our goal for our virtual assistants. You can push past that number. You definitely can. You just got to kind of space it out throughout the day. So we're going to show you now, once we've started using this process, this is the daily workflow. And feel free to ask any questions if you want, and we'll answer them after I get done here. So the first part of it is we've got to send our first, so person, the appointment setter wakes up in the morning, logs in, and this is the first thing they're going to do. They're going to log into the account, and they're going to send their first round of connection requests. This is anywhere from 10 to maybe 15, and you need to space those out with about 15 seconds between, okay? And then you got to take a break from that for a while. You can't just go in and send 50 friend requests at one time. That's going to raise a red flag for Facebook, and you're going to get your account restricted. So we need to kind of space this out throughout the day. So once we've done that first round of connection requests, the next thing that we want to do is we want to go into Messenger, and we want to review and respond to all unread messages. Okay, so we want to make sure that we find them in our pipelines in FlowChat, and then we respond with the appropriate script. If we need to improvise, then or if we can't answer the question that the prospect is asking, then we'll tag the client, and then they can take over the conversation. So once we've responded to the person with the appropriate script, we want to move them to the next stage of the process. So, for instance, let's say that this person responded to me. I need to send the message that's in this particular stage, and you just basically click on that button. It goes to their profile or their messaging thread, and I can paste that in. Well, it didn't copy. Hold on. That's weird. Might be because it's on Zoom. This does it sometime. So it takes you to the messaging thread, and yeah, I think it's because Zoom's going on. Anytime I try to do anything with software, it messes up. Anyway, so then I'd send that message. I'd move them to the next stage of the pipeline, and then I'd go on and answer the next unread message. Okay, so that's basically the next step. Is we want to clear out our inbox. Okay, so once we've cleared out the inbox, the next thing we want to do is send our second round of connection requests. Now we've cleaned out the inbox. There's no other conversations that are going on right now that we need to manage. So then we need to go back and we need to start sending our friend requests again. Because remember, we got to hit that 50 quota. All right. And then you want to review and respond to any incoming messages after you've done that, because we always want to go back and we want to respond to people as quickly as possible. But if you let that take too much of your time up, you're just going to be stuck in the inbox all day, just going back and forth. So we want to take care of other tasks and then come back and respond. But don't let them sit there too long, okay? So you always want to come back after a short period of time, check and see if there's any open messages, and then move on to the next task. All right, so now with FlowChat, this becomes extremely possible. Now we know with FlowChat, we've got what are called today and overdue tags, which show you exactly when you need to follow up with people. So that will alleviate this problem of not knowing when to follow up with people, or letting letting follow up kind of fall through the cracks. So if I go back to FlowChat, you can see that anything that I need to follow up with today with somebody that hasn't responded, I've got this little today tag. So basically I can just go in, click on the messaging thread for that particular stage. Typically it will copy the message in that pipeline stage to the clipboard. And then when you go to the messenger, their messenger thread, you just paste that in, and then you move them to the next stage. So you can see over here, we've got an overdue tag. So the third thing that I'm going to do in my day, or fourth thing I'm going to do in my day, is come in, clear out all those today and overdue tags. Once I've accomplished that, I've gone through all my pipelines, starting from the top, remember, because this is our priority, and moving down the line and clearing out all the today and overdue tags. That way, all my follow-up is done. I don't have to worry about that anymore. My follow-up is complete. And then the only thing that I'm managing from that point on is inbound conversations. Okay. So then we clear those out, and that's, you only have to do that once a day. Once those are cleared out, you don't have to go back and do that again. Okay. Next thing that we're going to do, we're going to send our third round of connection requests. Again, we're trying to hit that 50 quota. And then after we send our connection request, we're going to review and respond to any unread messages after that. Once we've done that, I forgot to put the animation up here anyway. Next thing that we're going to do is, now we've been sending these friend requests, right? Some of those friend requests are going to start getting accepted. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to send our icebreaker message to these people. So this is the message that you're going to send when you get a new person that's in your world, that's connected to you. You want to send an icebreaker. An icebreaker can be anything. I like to use humor. So most of the time nowadays, Messenger is very saturated with people just pitching their shit. They're pitch slapping you in the DM is what I like to call it. So instead of doing that, we want to, and everybody's got their guard up. So we got to bring this person's defenses down. So the best way to do that is by having something funny to say. If you can make them laugh, then their defenses are going to go down instantly. And that's the easiest way to start building some rapport. So we're going to send some icebreakers. I highly recommend doing something funny. And then we're going to, after we're done with that, after we've sent all of our icebreakers to our newly accepted friends, we're going to send our next round of connection requests. And then we're going to review the Messenger inbox and see if there's any incoming messages and respond to all those. And then when we're done with that, we're just going to recycle through this. And basically, you're just going to do, let me get out of this view. So basically, you're going to keep sending your friend requests until you hit your quota. And then you're going to respond to all incoming messages as they come in. And then you're also going to be sending those icebreakers as new people accept your message or accept your friend request. And if you've gone through all of these pipelines, so these are all the major pipelines, and let's say things have kind of slowed down, things are dead, we can go into our long-term check-in, which is people that are on our warm list of people that we've built good rapport with, we've had good conversations with. Let's just go check in on those people and see if we can start a conversation that might lead to booking an appointment. So that is basically and I will send this checklist to you guys if you're interested in it. Just like drop checklist in the comment section, and I'll send it to you. But that is basically it. With that being said, does anybody have any questions on anything we talked about today? Now, I've got one question here. What sort of message they send along with sending a friend request? I think I just answered that question. So I personally don't send the message unless they accept my friend request. I know a lot of people do. To me, and I can't prove this right or wrong, that would seem to me to be something that Facebook would flag as spammy. Just because you're not friends with this person, you're just going to send a random message. So yeah, I mean, it just seems kind of spammy. So I only send friend or messages to people that are my friends. Okay. So I hope that answered that question. So I will get you my link to get FlowChat if you want it. And if you end up going through my link and I can confirm that, I'll actually share my pipelines with you. So you can see all those. It's a link and you can install it directly into your account. There's my affiliate link. If anybody wants to get that, just DM me and let me know you purchased FlowChat, and I'll check it out, and then I'll send you the pipelines if you're interested in that. Anybody have any questions? Was that helpful? Well, Becky, personally, I mean, I only use my stuff for business. So if you're just totally anti that, I guess you could start a second account. It's going to take you a long time to get it warmed up because new accounts are that's another red flag in Facebook's mind, so it takes a lot longer to get it warmed up. If you don't really care that much about whether, I mean, if you're not using it for personal or you don't care about it that much, then I would just turn it into a business profile and just change the banner, put some good content on the feed there, and then start. I mean, I don't really need Facebook to communicate with my friends. We've got text message, we've got, other forms of communication. So I just use all these channels strictly for business. But that's me. That's my personal preference. So it's just up to you. But I would highly consider, if you want to use Facebook, just to turn your profile into business. So FlowChat is totally different from GHL. GHL is a CRM system that's more for, it's just got a lot more functionality, but you can't really do social media prospecting with high level. And you can connect your Facebook business page with high level, but you can't prospect with a business page. You can only prospect with your profile. Okay, let me, I'm gonna drop my affiliate link again into the chat for whoever said that. There's my link. Is this tool compatible with other platforms? Yes, you can, with FlowChat, you can prospect on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, Discord, Slack. Yeah, it does a lot. It can work on all the channels, really. I don't know about, it's probably not TikTok yet, I don't think, but maybe at some point. Let's see here. Yeah, no TikTok yet. But I wouldn't doubt that it's coming soon. Actually, you know what? I don't think y'all are seeing my my FlowChat link. Any other questions? Here, I'm going to drop my FlowChat link into the comments. I think only people in YouTube can see that. All right, I just dropped my affiliate link into the comment section. I'm not, yeah, it was just, it looks like it was just going to YouTube for some reason. So I just dropped it into the comment section now. Anybody else got any questions? All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. Thank y'all for joining me, and let me know what y'all want to learn. Funnel. What does funnel mean? Sorry. Papai? I don't know what that means. Okay. Well, thank y'all for joining me. And if y'all are looking for any other kind of content, anything y'all want to learn, then let me know. Drop me a comment in this thread and let me know what y'all want to learn about, and I'll try to do a training on it sometime. I mean, is scraping the leads automated? Scraping the leads is not automated, but let me show you some cool stuff. They've got a pretty cool extension. So this is the extension right here. So one thing that I can do is I don't know why FlowChat never wants to show, or not FlowChat, but Facebook never wants to show you all the comments. And I think Zoom just messes everything up, so you probably can't see everything perfectly. Yeah. Okay, so you can see this little button. I don't know. I can't see all the comments for some reason. Facebook's not going to show me. But here's one way you can import comments. So you can import them directly into a pipeline. So if I wanted to do this, I click import. And it's probably not going to work. And then I can select my pipeline that I want to import into. So let's just say I was doing a 2-step post and I wanted to follow up with you guys. Then I could add you to one of my pipelines in the lead-in stage, and it will import you directly into that pipeline. And then I can start sending you messages from that. This also accepts members into your group. You can import from Messenger. You can import from groups. So you can import like a whole group of leads or a whole group's members. You can import your friends. You can import from search, likes, comments, all kinds of stuff. So I hope that answered that question. I am live on Facebook and I think LinkedIn also. This is on our Facebook group. So the Bellisk on YouTube, if you want to join our Facebook group, we've got a lot more training in the Facebook group if you want to come join it. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me today. And again, if y'all want to learn anything else, if y'all want to see any other cool tools I'm using or anything like that, then let me know and I'll do a training on it. But yeah, thank y'all for spending your time with me today and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.